Hey guys, this is a short video on how to hook up my Make Anything machine. So I've posted the blueprints to both the layer-based OP0 Make Anything machine and the layer-based Operator 1 Make Anything machine below. And it's too cumbersome to try to do everything in one blueprint. So I broke it into two, and you'll have an Operator 0, which will make just about any shape that pops up in your random Operator 0 menu, and then the Operator 1 will basically do anything that pops up in the random Operator 1 category there. So the main difference between these two is that Operator 0 specializes in pins and Operator 1 specializes in crystals, because that's how they pretty much break it up in the the random operator shapes that they generate. So there may be the odd shape that it can't make, and that's why I have a completely separate set of Make Anything machines for those occasions, the quad-based ones that you might have seen me post a couple videos on earlier. But this one is focused on the layer-based ones because I think they're easy to understand and fun to play around with, and they'll make a surprisingly wide variety of shapes. Many of the job menu shapes can be made with these two, and of one or the other. And I won't say that they'll make all of them in the job menu, because there's a couple sticklers that are hard to make, and the ones that require the new um, release 1.0 factory shapes can't be made with these, because I haven't integrated those yet. I did integrate it with my Make Anything machine up here, though. Spoiler alert. That turns into a quite the endeavor, but that's not what this video is about. Anyhow, so to get down to business here, the Make Anything machine at its core is this business here, and that's where shapes come in, colors come in, and then they're processed through these different platforms: the base, level 1, layer 2, and layer 3. I can't decide whether I want to say layer or level. Layer 1, 2, 3, and 4. Obviously, if you're working on Insane, you need a fifth one here, but it won't be exactly like these other ones. That'll be my next task, is to possibly start an Insane game. I hate starting from scratch, but I may do it just for completeness' sake. Anyway, so to get shapes into this thing, all of the platforms require shapes in the northeast quadrant, and the order which they require them in is circle, square, W, and S. And so once you get those shapes in, then the Make Anything machine does the rest. You don't have to worry about the orientation after that. And this is just on a single layer of each. So each platform requires its own supply. Since the last time I showed my Make Anything machine that was layer based, I've gone from having a linear layout like this, where it's layer 1, 2, 3, and 4, to a more compact version that cuts down latency tremendously. And so the time between new shapes is cut basically in half. And I could probably do a little bit more, but that's fine for now. Anyway, so to get those shapes to their proper platforms, there's a series of trains. This train is its sole job is to get the fluids to the Make Anything machine, and as you can see, I've got a couple different rails, 3 different rails here, one carrying blue, green, red, and they all combine with this local train to provide fluid to the paint mixers, and then onto the platforms themselves to make the shapes. So anyway, I hate when it does that. There we go, showing all 3 layers now. So for the shapes, I said that you had to have these all in individual quads. They come in from a train over here that's carrying a full load of this is the order that they're in. Sorry if they're backwards. That just is the way it worked out with the train spacing and everything. So if you want to copy this directly, you'll need a train that will bring in shapes in this order right here. And then this demultiplexer, maybe you could call it, I guess, takes the triple layers and breaks it out into three uh, three of 4 individual shapes on a single layer, and those are what get delivered over here. You may ask yourself, why is there only 3 here and there's 4 here? That's why, because I don't need to try to marry up perfectly the order here and the order here, or the amount, because I'm delivering way more than we need, and there's never going to be a problem getting enough shapes into these platforms. So, and by having them decoupled like this, it just it's a convenience thing, and it works fine. So you have a bunch of different trains here, all delivering the shapes to the individual platform, and they pick them up from here. So I'll include all of these trains and everything in the blueprint. So this whole area right here essentially is going to be included in the blueprint, and you can see the item count here. Now, it's up to you to get the shapes to this point, get the colors to this point. You shouldn't have any problem doing that if you played the game a little bit. You just have to set up yourself some fluid mining and some shape mining, and the rest, should be pretty straightforward for you. So, at any rate, once you've done that, there's one more thing that you have to do. You've got the shapes to the Make Anything machine. You got the colors to the Make Anything machine. These also require a second kind of auxiliary shape, and that's to create, for OP0, it's to create top pins. And so it needs quarters in the northeast quadrant. It doesn't matter what kind they are, because they're going to be sacrificial anyways. They need to be delivered to this platform right here. Just in case your shape has top pins, it'll be required. You can actually see in this. Why does it do that? I cannot stand when it changes the space level when you zoom in. Anyway, it's required if you've got top pins, all right? And so that's what a lot of this logic and stuff. I'm not going into all the logic right now. I'm just trying to tell you how to hook it up. Once you got it hooked up and running, you can kind of examine what's going down by playing around with your own shapes if you don't want to use the operator shape. And so, having said that, if you change the input to any of these, like right here, it's taking the random operator level. There's no saying that you couldn't put your own generator here and toggle it on or off for whatever shape you want to try to put through it, just to test the capabilities of it. I did that with the job menu, for instance, and it's worked out pretty well. So once that operator 0 requires quads coming into this platform, operator 1, I use the same train that delivers quads to the other one to deliver quads to this one. However, then they're stacked into, did it again, they're stacked into a full shape for, in this case, not to make top pins, but for that oddball case where they're making a top crystal, and you have to have some scaffolding to do that. So if you have crystals on layer 4, you need a sacrificial layer for that, and it's pin pushed, and that way the pins create the scaffolding, if you will, for the crystal to be poured, because you can't pour a crystal on an empty level. So that's what the shape is for there. But in other respects, all other respects, the inputs for operator 1 are the same for operator 0. You have your 3 primary colors of fluids that come in, and then they get dispersed, and then you have the primary shapes that come in and then get dispersed over here. So then it's up to you to figure out how to get them to the vortex. I just use a small train here to get them to the vortex and dump them in. So that is the way to hook up these two Make Anything machines so that you can play with them. Now, you're going to have most of your things unlocked for, let's see, for your shop. You're going to have just about everything in the shop for these to work. There may be a couple things that you don't have to have, but I think you got to have most of it. And so this probably won't be for the early game. But once you've got most of that stuff unlocked through your milestones and everything else, you should be able to get these up and running, as long as you've got the budget for it. So, all right, that's all I really wanted to cover on this one. It's just an instructional video on how to hook up the Make Anything machines. I'll put a link to the blueprints in the description, and they should be compatible with version 1.2 that just came out today, as a matter of fact. So have fun with it. If you notice any bugs or anything like that, you can hit me up. If there's a shape that it won't make, I'm probably aware of it, but if you want to tell me, that's cool. Maybe I'll try to fix an exception or anything like that in future versions. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you later.